To support the continuity and development of this channel, please click like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for your kindness.
I'm the president of MetaPlanet. We're listed on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Thanks to Bitcoin, we are the best performing stock out of 4,000 companies in Japan this year. I started my career at Goldman Sachs in Tokyo. I was an equity derivatives trader, and after doing that for about 5 years, decided that I wanted to become an entrepreneur, left Goldman, and ended up starting a Pan-Asian hotel business. We don't have much time, so I'm going to fast forward a bit to COVID. And as you can imagine, COVID was very difficult for businesses in the hospitality sector. In 3 of our 4 markets, we were forcibly closed. And meanwhile, I had time to watch YouTube videos, and I saw Michael Saylor tell us the roadmap for the Bitcoin Treasury strategy. I personally have been involved in Bitcoin for some time. I like to joke that I bought Bitcoin in Japan on a very famous exchange called Mt. Gox. So it wasn't the best initial exposure to Bitcoin, but it did get me excited about the potential, and I learned a lot over the next few years. But there was always something in the back of my mind wanting to bring Bitcoin together with my business. It was always a side passion. And so during COVID, managed to convince our shareholders and board that we should try something new. And we decided to sell all of our hotels, save for one, and put that all into Bitcoin. And that was the beginning of our story in April of this year.
So we're sitting here today. The Bitcoin strategy started in April of 2024. Today, the balance sheet value of the Bitcoin is about 8 times the entire market cap back in April, which is sort of an astounding stat. Maybe just a walkthrough of what the operations and financing have been so far. How have we gone about this Bitcoin strategy? And I think there's an interesting twist to how we've gone about it so far.
I think the real innovation here, and I can't claim credit for being the first to think of it. We have to nod our heads to Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. But the benefit of being in a public vehicle is you can use all of the capital market tools available to you to raise capital to buy Bitcoin. And so in April of this year, the first thing we did was we had some outstanding warrants that were part of the capital structure. We facilitated a transfer of those warrants to some strategic investors, those who very much understand the world of Bitcoin. It was only about $10 million back then. And so I felt a little bit embarrassed on stage in Nashville when we were on stage together with Semler Scientific and MicroStrategy talking about the Treasury strategy, and we only had about $10 million of Bitcoin. Since then, we did something, I would say, a little bit unusual and goes against conventional wisdom, which is we did a rights issue. A rights issue is where existing shareholders of the company can subscribe to new shares. And so what we did was, for every share you owned, you had the ability to buy 1 additional share. At that time, it was at a small discount to the market, and you would think that normally a company that does a rights issue, the stock price should fall to, in this case, the average of the rights issue price and the share price prior to the stock going X. So what actually happened was the stock went up. It went up because shareholders in Japan thought, this is my chance to give this company money that they can use to buy Bitcoin. It's very different to asking someone or someone discovering you and buying your shares through their online broker versus when they actually give you cash that you then productively use to buy an asset that they love. And so we had roughly 14,000 Japanese shareholders subscribe in the rights issue, and they now have become our fans locally in Japan. It's helped us rise from about 5,000 shareholders to now over 50,000 shareholders. And I think our objective, over the next year is how do we grow that number from 50,000 to 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 shareholders.